Good afternoon, my friends. It is 4 o'clock on the dot, and this is Jenny Fetz with Teach It Tuesday with Tammy and Jenny. It is Tuesday, May 27th, and I am coming live to you from my craft room to share with you some fun scrapbooking tips and how to use the sketches. And let's see, I'm looking for myself on Facebook so I can see any comments that are there. There's Tammy. Hello, Tammy. I'm a little crooked. Let me see if I can fix my board since I can't fix my camera. Let's see if that makes it less crooked. I probably typed it. Hi, Janny. Yep. I just got a new name. But anyway, let's see. There we go. That looks good. Hopefully I didn't mess it up. So welcome. I hope you were able to catch Patty's scrapbooking adventure this morning at 9 o'clock and Tammy's at 11 o'clock. And I'm welcoming you here to mine now, 4 o'clock Pacific time. My name is Jenny Fetz, and I am a Stampin' Up! Independent demonstrator out of East Contra Costa County. Which is, I'm sort of smack dab between Sacramento and San Francisco if you were to do a backwards L. Anyway, hey Debbie, hey Patty, welcome. So let me go ahead and we'll go ahead and get started. I am doing I'm doing a layout that we have here. This is my layout, page 28 of the annual catalog. Last year they included, what was it? Card sketches, and this year they've not only included card sketches, but they have ventured into the world of scrapbooking sketches as well. And on page 28 you'll find those. If you need a catalog and you don't have a demonstrator that you're working with, go ahead and send me a message either here on Facebook, or if you're catching this on my YouTube channel, leave me a message and I will get it. Hopefully I see it within about 24 hours and I will reach out to you and we will arrange to get a catalog to you. So I hope you're going to enjoy the journey we're going to take today. I know Patty and Tammy, I saw their pages and they did some of their flowers and gardens and everything else. I am taking a different approach because it is Mother's Day this month. I decided to share with you the garden of my life, I guess you can say. The mothers in my garden, grandmothers in my garden of life, and so I'm going to be sharing that with you. I'm going to share some pictures of very important women in my life, both through my side of the family and through my husband's side of the family. So I look forward to sharing that with you. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. Let's see, here we go. I'm going to pull this stuff over. I am using, just so you guys know, I have decided to use the background of my scrapbook page is from the Perennial Lavender. I didn't want anything too busy. I'm one of those people that I like very low key on my scrapbook pages. And I thought this was perfect. I love the neutral colors. It does have a little floral with the branches there, but it allowed me to play with all the colors that I wanted to. And I've picked two specific colors that are going to be my main colors, basically playing off of some of the colors of in the photos, or try to accentuate the colors in some of the photos. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. For the first page, and then I'm going to accentuate with some of the ephemera from the Forever Flowering, I believe it's called. Let me see if it's in the catalog. I forgot to check. I tell you, it was a 3-day weekend, but it went by way too fast for me. I really enjoyed it, and now we're back into the swing of things at work, getting ready for the end of the school year. And so I'm looking to see if the ephemeras are listed in the catalog. They probably are, but I don't see them right away. So, they might be under, no, they're not under embellishments. But anyway, I will put a connection. I will click or create, oh my goodness, words aren't easy right now. I will create a link to them on my blog. but I have chosen, the colors I've chosen are Blueberry Bushel and Old Olive. And we're going to be using these. And my tip is, I don't know about you, but back in the day, when I first started scrapbooking, gosh, we're talking my son's going to be 26 this year, so probably 25 years ago. You had those fun scissors that had the edges that you could create all the fun shapes and everything else. Debbie was thinking, oh, Patty, thank you so much. The ephemera is on pages 25 and 29. And, oh, I was right at 28 for the, so here, I had the sketches here, and right there under my nose, without even realizing it, fully flowering. I'm going to be using some ephemera from this, was the ephemera we're using. So let's see. And Debbie was saying, I was thinking, gee, that DSP looks a little fuzzy. Oh, you left your glasses in the other room. You know what? I have my glasses on. Actually, I had a student ask me, why do you wear glasses? And I said, so I can see better. So anyway, what I wanted to share with you is, did I leave them here or did I, wait, hold on a moment. I put them aside because I cleaned up my desk. Oh my gosh, if you guys had seen my desk before this weekend, it was a disaster. I couldn't find anything, and now I can find everything, except for I put everything away. I'm using textured notes. Now, if you remember back in the day, and they still have them, I think, the scissors that have the fun edges, you know, the scalped edges, the wave edges, the zigzag edges. Well, I thought, take a tip off, or take a sort of go off of that. And you can't really see it on the photos too much, but I did use our textured notes dies to give myself an edge on my pictures. And then I used them also to give decorative edges along the mats that I'm using for my pictures. So let's go ahead, and I shared with you textured notes, the fully flowering ephemera. Let me share with you our first page is going to be my side of the family, and then the second page will be my husband's side of the family. And my side, I know the sketch had 3 pictures on it, but I'm going to have 4 pictures on this one. And I'm probably going to put this title, I'm giving it the title Generations of Love. And what I did is I just printed this out on cardstock, and then I used the textured note dies to cut this out. And I think these are the same size. I wanted to give a little pop of the white against the 2 colors that I'm using. So we're probably going to put that on the other page after we lay out here. So let me share a little bit of my history. This is my grandmother. And if you cannot tell by the style, it's from the 1970s. She is my dad's mom, and we didn't see her much growing up. We couldn't, well, back in the 70s, we didn't have a lot of money, so we couldn't travel to see her. And she lived on the East Coast, right outside of Orlando, Florida. So thank you. I love the texture notes look too. So she would come out and visit. When she would come out to visit, she would come out for 4 or 5 weeks at a time. And spoil us rotten. I don't know how many of you guys remember Kmart. Kmart was a big place that we loved to shop when I was growing up, and she would go to Kmart with us, and we would come out with carts full and full and full of stuff. And one big thing that I do remember from my grandma Pompey, we called her Grandma P, but her last name was Pompey, is that she loved parakeets. And she had a couple pet parakeets in Florida, and she bought me and my sister our first pet parakeet. And his name was Taffy. And I remember her training him not to bite, and just a lot of fun, just so many wonderful memories. And we did go back and see them when I was 5 to Orlando, and we got to see Disney World at the time. And then the last time I got to see her, my sister and I flew out to visit her in 1992. And she passed away in 2000. Yeah, 2000, March of 2000. So this is my grandma Pompey. She was my dad's mom, and I'm going to do it because of the antique-y looking color of the picture. And I know that this was more of the greens and rust colors. I'm going to go ahead and put an old olive behind there. We're going to put that one right like there. And then this is a picture of, you loved Kmart and your aunt worked there. Oh, yes. Yes. Do you remember the blue light specials? And you could get food, sometimes blue light specials. And I remember going to, it was such a treat to go to the food court or the food cafeteria they had back there and get Jell-O with whipped cream on it. Oh my goodness, that was a special deal. I knew it was a special trip. Anyway, back to the important women in my life. This was my grandma, my granny, on my mom's side, my mom's mom. And this story here is really special. When I got married, it was 30 years, it'll be 31 years ago this December. If you can see, I'll hold it up. My grandmother is slipping a blue glove, and it was one of those gloves that went to probably up to, mid 3/4 of the way up to your arm. It's a blue glove. That blue glove was the glove that she wore when she eloped with my grandfather in Reno in 1942. And I got married in 1994. So you're talking 42 to 92 would have been 50 years. So about that glove was about 52 years old. Unfortunately, we don't know what happened to it because it was such a fun tradition that several family members, not necessarily just grandchildren, but cousins, would use that as their something blue for the wedding. And unfortunately, it got lost. And the sad thing is that my sister got married about a little over a year after my grandmother passed away, and we didn't have a glove. So I found something that we used and replaced it with. But yes, this was my something blue, and it was being tucked into my garter. And I wore country boots because we had a country western theme to our wedding. And we weren't fancy when getting ready. And that's my best friend's Mary Kay makeup case that I was propping my foot up on. So anyway, I decided to go with Blueberry Bushel. And I think this is the right size. Yeah, Blueberry Bushel, because I figured it would bring out the blue in my grandmother's dress. So we'll do that there, I think is what we'll put right there. And then I have two pictures, and this one's actually one of my grandmother, the one that gave me the glove, and my mom, my sister, and me. And this is when I was, oh gosh, it was something old too. You're right, Tammy. It was the old and the blue. But this is me when I was, gosh, I think this was, let's see, October of 1999. So this was about a month before I had my son. I was pregnant with my son, who is now going to be 26 this year. And I thought Blueberry Bushel would look nice on this one as well. I think I have a smaller Blueberry Bushel over here that I cut. There it is. To offset the blue that my mom was wearing in there. And I think we're going to put this one over here. And then this is a fun one. You know what? I probably will put it like this because then we have the two larger ones. This was a fun picture. My son and I think it was when my son was playing hockey. My mom, when I went up while he was at practice or something, or maybe we decided to do it on a whim. I don't remember what exactly brought us up to the Vacaville, the Nut Tree Vacaville outlets. And we ran into Santa Claus. And so we were able to get our picture taken with Santa Claus. And I think, you know what? I think we're going to do it this way. Because I want the colors to offset each other. And I didn't want too green on one side and too blue on the same side. So we're going to do this. We're going to put this right here. And so this was a fun trip where we got to see Santa Claus, and we got to give Santa Claus our wish list. So this is our first page. Let's go ahead and attach these down. And I just put in a new Stampin' seal. So we're going to go ahead and put these down. And Yep, let's get this guy going. All right. We'll center my Grandma Pompeii on here. And there we go. My grandma. And then, let's see, let's do the family picture of us at my baby shower. Let me get this going. There we go. And this was a surprise shower. And it was at, I want to say it was called the Burger Pit or the Steak Pit or something. It was a restaurant over in Milpitas. And it was a fun surprise shower. Well, no, actually, now I think about it, the shower wasn't a surprise. What was a surprise was my sister came out because she lived in Florida, or not Florida. She lived in Colorado at the time. So we had that, and that was a family shower. So it was a lot of fun seeing cousins, because growing up, although I didn't have a lot of first cousins, I had a ton of, I don't know what you would say, second or third cousins. My grandmother came from a family of, let's see, there was my grandma, Auntie Jerry, Uncle John, Aunt Lorette. I think there was 4 of them. And all of them had at least 2 or 3 kids. My Aunt Lorette had 5, and they lived in Morgan Hill. So we grew up on big holidays like 4th of July, going to Morgan Hill and spending a lot of time in Morgan Hill with those cousins and those aunts and cousins. And so that was, a lot of those cousins were there. And then some of the other cousins from San Francisco came down from that. Get this guy going. Just a tip, if you're using your Stampin' Seal and you notice that it's just not, it's not rolling forward and giving you the adhesive you want, use a silicone mat. Oh, dog hair, sorry. Bow is not supposed to be a part of that. But you can use a silicone mat to roll it against. And what it does is it doesn't take up any of the adhesive, but it definitely moves it along so it gets the ball rolling, so to speak, the roller rolling. So we're going to go ahead and attach these. Yes, we definitely don't have room for our title, so we'll put that on the other page. And I'm going to move my second page so that I have space. And then we're going to accentuate this with, after we put the other page together, with our ephemera pieces. All right, which is the floral. I'm tying in the floral that we wanted to go with this too. Yeah. All right, so good old grandma there. My granny up here. I miss her. My granny, oh my goodness, her floral, she had gardens, and that woman had a green thumb that if I could get even a part of the green thumb that she had, I'd have a beautiful garden, but I don't have the patience to do with it. But she had a beautiful garden, and we actually have a plant in our backyard that we call it the granny plant because it was a rose of Sharon. It almost looks like it could be like in the hibiscus family, but it's called the Rose of Sharon, and it's beautiful magenta colors. And she told my grandfather just before she passed away, she says, after I pass away, you need to make sure that you dig that up and you give it to Jenny, because I was the only one who had a house at the time. And they lived in a mobile home up here in the Brentwood area where we live now. And so after she passed, my grandfather dug it up, and it sat in a bowl, a tub. And then we finally, for probably a year, and then we finally put it in a wine barrel, and it stayed in that wine barrel for another year and a half before we moved up here. And I planted it in the backyard, and that thing is so humongous. I mean, my granny must have been looking over it because that thing just shot up like you wouldn't believe. It's my only pride and joy in my backyard. So when we eventually move, I'm thinking I'm going to have to take a couple snippings, and hopefully I can get them to grow again in that. Now, my husband's side of the family, I've got some wonderful family members and mothers and grandmothers that mean a great deal to us. This is my mother-in-law, and I've got 2 pictures of my mother-in-law. This is my mother-in-law with Brian, my son, when he was about want to say a year old, year and a half old, probably about a year and a half old. And then this is my mother-in-law, and she goes by Oma, and that's her with my daughter. And that was taken about a year and a half ago. Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad you like the tip. And then this is my husband's grandmother, Grandma Lang, great Grandma Lang. And this woman, oh my goodness. This woman, let me tell you, she is an amazing, we got to make room for my titles. So we're going to move this down here. Actually, I think, let's see, we're going to put this here, this here. I don't know how I want to do this because, and then you know what? We're not going to put the green on the thing. We're going to do blue so that we can balance this out a little bit with the colors. We're going to put Generations of Love there, and then we'll put the green and the green and the blue. I like that. So we're going to do that. So anyway, going back to Grandma Lang, this woman, when I met her, she lived on, I think it was 18 acres of land. They had 18 acres of land up in the Clear Lake area. And she, that woman, she passed away a couple of years ago at the age of 95. But let me tell you, this woman was splitting wood and planting and cultivating land and all sorts of things still at the age of 90. I mean, that woman just amazing. If I could do what she did at that age, that would just be, I'd be amazed. I'd be blown away. But amazing. You would never know. I mean, that woman didn't slow down. And we always teased her about it too. But oh my gosh, so much fun. And those are some of the best memories we have of that, is her amazing attitude and get to it and her work ethic. So, ooh, that would be pretty. I'd have to go ahead and take a picture. I would wait though right now, Patty. You know what? That's a good idea. Maybe I'll not attach something. I don't know where I'd put it. You know, I could probably put it like right here or something, but I'll have to wait because it's just starting to bloom and there are not a lot of flowers on it. So I want to wait, and maybe I'll squeeze it in there somewhere. I'll overlap it somehow or do something with it to add it to this page. But I want to wait until it's got all the flowers because the flowers are stunning. So, all right, let's add this too, and we'll do Generations of Love, because that's what we have here, many generations of love in this family. And we're gonna go ahead and let's see, we need to put our things, and I even took white from the skinny white textured notes. There's a real skinny one here. Let's see. I took the 3 smallest ones, this skinny one here, and then these 2 smaller ones here, and I cut them out in white so that we could journal with that. So let me grab my Sharpie, and we can we'll put Oma and Brian. I think it was 2000. All right. And then we'll put Oma and Megan. And I want to say this was 2022. She graduated from high school in 2021. Actually, it was 2023. It was January of 2023. We'll put this down here, and then we're going to use one of the rectangle ones, and we're going to say Great Grandma Lang. With Brian and Megan. And if I had to guess, it was in 2004, because Megan, or even could have been October of 2000. No, that was 2004. because Megan looks like she's a little over a year old. So there's our journaling for that. Let me put those down. Before we put these down, let's go ahead and play with our flowers, our flowering, our ephemera. I have these blue ones. I have some beautiful yellow ones. And I love, these pink ones are nice, but I don't think I like those. I think I like these brighter colors. We have these beautiful ones that look like they could be, not Calypso Coral. Those almost looks like Flirty Flamingo. And then I have this yellow one too. So let's figure out which one. Let's see. I want to tuck. No, let's tuck. I like this one right here. I might even tuck this one in here. And then we'll tuck this one in over here. And let's see, you know what? Where did I put my rest of my flower? I didn't think I'd need the tiny ones, but I do need some of the tiny ones. Let's see. Let me look here. Let's go over here. Sorry, folks. Oh, I like this. Let's do this little one. I like that one there. And here's a yellow one. And then we have this cute pink one right here. We'll do that. And then we've got a little leaf here. So we'll go ahead and attach these. Where's my glue dots? All right. We're going to use glue dots for these. And I think I'm going to put down the leaf first. So we'll put that glue dot. Let's put that right there. And we'll put a glue dot on the pink one. Put it right there. Another glue dot on the yellow one. Right there. And then we'll go with the blue one. And these both have some of the blues, but the leaves look like they could tie in with the old olive too. So we've got that there. And we're going to attach, what did I say I was going to attach over here? Did I say I was going to put this blue one? Or should we put, yeah, I think we're going to do the blue one. So we'll do this. We're going to tuck it in there, which is sort of nice when you don't attach all the way around. You can do that. So let's go ahead and put a little bit of adhesive here. And we're going to tuck this in. But we'll tuck it in sort of like that. And now we're going to put our adhesive on the back of here. And we don't want that to go off the, so we're gonna go there. And we'll do a little adhesive here. Oop. All right, we're gonna do a little adhesive on this one. I love having this silicone mat on the bottom of my, on my glass, or if you had the glass mat, you could do it too, because I can run my adhesive right on it and it doesn't stick. So if you're looking for something, there we go. Get this jump started. My Stampin' seal is being a little finicky right now. We're gonna put this over here and attach. Oh my goodness. This guy is playing serious, like, he's being finicky. Yeah, I think we're gonna move that over. All right, and let's go ahead and do Grandma Lang. I think she's where my daughter, she loved doing puzzles, and my husband loves to do puzzles with my daughter, and my mother-in-law loves to do puzzles, and I think that's where my daughter got it, was from this side of the family. They love their puzzles. So I'm going to put that one. You know what would look pretty is if I did, let's see. Can I tuck that in? Ooh, I like that. What do you guys think? Should I frame it out like that? Do the frame? I don't know. What do you guys think for this? While I'm waiting to hear back from there, we'll go ahead and put our title. Maybe it's operator error today. I think it's operator error today. So we'll put this right here. I would love to know, do you guys think we should put that there, or should I just do one? Because I've got 3 on this side. You know what? I think I'm just going to do the one. Because I've got 3, and I might just cover it up like that this time. So this was taken also, this picture and this picture were taken up at the family cabin, which is just outside of Clear Lake. It's about a half an hour from Clear Lake. And it's been in the family since my husband was, I think, 4 or 5. And so it's fun to go up there. So there is my husband's side of the family. We're going to go ahead and let's do the added pictures, or the added, we'll do our journaling. Let's see. We'll do one there, one there. I think we're going to go with another smaller one here. And so let's do that. All right, real quickly, let's journal these. Yes, just one, and covering part of the photo gives you a great visual triangle. Oh, perfect. Oh, awesome. I didn't even think about that. As you can tell, my brain isn't 100% there. Let's go ahead and journal. We're going to put Jenny and Granny 12/10/94. We'll put something old and blue. And we're going to go ahead and attach that there. And then I think it's me. Operator error. All right. And then we're going to put Jen and Mom. I think it was November of, I want to say November of let's see, probably 2016. I'm guessing about 2016. My son played hockey all of his high school years and his 8th grade year. All right, and this was Grandma Pompey. In the 70s. We're going to just put the 70s because I'm not sure exactly what year it is. All right. There. And then we're going to put baby shower. October 1999. And then we're going to put Granny. Grandma. You know what? I'm going to need a bigger one. So let's go with a bigger one. Yeah, we're going to need a bigger one. All right, here we go. Baby shower. 1999. And there was Great Granny. Grandma. Aunt Mary. And Mommy, and Brian. All right, we're gonna do that. There we go. So we'll put this on there. Get it going again. All right. Oh, I'm glad you love the colors. Oh, the photos. Thank you. Yeah, I dig. I'll tell you something. After my husband retires and we move, or even before my husband retires, if I'm not working much next school year, I may go through and sort through my files, my folders, or my packages and piles and boxes of photos, because I've got a few boxes upstairs. I've got 3 or 4 small boxes downstairs, and I've got a whole plethora of flowers other places. So let's go ahead. I almost like the green. I like this. I don't know. Oh, I like that. And then we're going to do, you know what? I don't want to add too many florals because I've got to figure out where I might do as an add-on to this page, Patty. I might just do an add-on as a page, is grab another piece of this and on like a third page, do a picture. And I might see if I've got other pictures of my grandmother's garden. That woman, like I said, she had a green thumb. When she lived in Daly City, she lived on a street where the backyard went down and then there was a hill. We'd roll down and she never got angry with us, but we'd go through, my sister and I, and we'd pop all her fuchsias before they'd blossom or before they bloom, because we thought it was fun to pop them. So, but she loved us and she didn't get upset with us. So I loved my granny. I love her still. All right, we're going to put sort of like, you know, I like that setup. So let's go ahead and put our flowers like that. All right, let's go. We're going to tuck this one in here. There. And we're going to tuck this yellow one. I love the yellows because we all know that in the 70s, the big colors were these greens and yellows and oranges. And that's what this picture is from the 70s. And then we love, you know what, do we want to do that one? All right, here's my question. Do we do another blue one, or do we do this pink party, the flamingo, or, you know, that one's too big. You know what? I think Flirty Flamingo would look good. Yeah, let's go Flirty Flamingo. Oh my gosh, on the fuchsias, yeah, my grandmother, she loved us dearly because she didn't get upset with them at all. All right, there we go. There's my layout, page 1. So let me bring out page 2 again, and I'll share with you. I guess I could have titled this Gardens of Love too, but here are, and I may have to move my camera so I can pull back on the camera so you can see both layouts together side by side. So I'm going to pull up very slowly so you guys can see them all. There we go. There are our 2 sides of flowers. I might even add another flower. I might get some smaller ones. Let's see. What do we got here? Nah. I think I'll stick with that. But anyway, let's go. There we go. The flamingo looks good. Oh, thank you, Patty. So this is my Generations of Love, Gardens of Love, with the women in my family who had the greatest impact on me. And I'm so glad I was able to share these with you today during our Scrapbook Trio Stampin' Teacher Tuesday with Tammy and Jenn. Oh my goodness. I need to go back to, I need to go to bed early tonight. Anyway, if you have any questions, or if you want to know what supplies I used, I will have everything on my blog tomorrow at www.stampinwithjenn.com. 2 N's in Stampin', 2 N's in Jenn. I will also have links to Patty and Tammy's YouTube playlist for scrapbooking in case you missed theirs today. They did some beautiful, I saw real quickly, I took a quick peek while at work at times to see what their layouts look like, and they had some beautiful layouts. So check those out for sure. It might get you into the gardening bug, and you might get the gardening bug. Words are difficult. I think I should probably wrap this up. So thank you so much for joining us, and check out Tammy and I next week, Teach It Tuesday, We are doing, tell me, we just talked about it yesterday. Now I can't remember. What do we have going next week? We have a sketch. We're going to do a sketch challenge. So come check out our sketches. We're going to do the same sketch, but we're going to be using different bundles and stamp sets and different colors. So come check out the different ways you can do this one sketch. So we look forward to having you there. Have a great week. Enjoy the last week of May, and next time we see you, it will be June. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye-bye.